All right, here we go. Hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another Webflow live stream. I'm your host, Nelson. Thank you for joining me today. As you can see from the title under the YouTube stream, we are doing our first ever Build With Me session. We're going to build 5 different image reveal Webflow interactions. Now, before we get into that, if you're not familiar with these type of streams, well, it goes back to the original Webflow live streams when it started back in 2014 with Will and Matt, 2X Webflowers. And they were streaming out of a closet, just a swag closet. There was like Webflow stickers, Webflow T-shirts, and some office cleaning supplies. But anyways, they were using a laptop and YouTube Live from this channel to teach people how to build inside of Webflow. And so I'm continuing that legacy today. All right. So you probably saw me from the old Webflow workshops when, when I helped out from 2015 all the way to, say, 2019. And then we took a break and now they're back. New studio, new digs, new team to help build these streams. So shout out to the Webflow education video production team. Shout out to the Webflow community team for helping me put this together. And I am so glad that all of you who is in the live chat right now are hanging out and watching live. So who's in the live chat? Let me see here. First one in the door, Peter. Hello, Webflow. So nice to be here. It's been a while, Peter. Peter was one of the original Webflow community members who would join me in the Webflow workshops. So welcome back. Freaky shows. Hey, brother. Love you from Pakistan. Oh, yeah. Where are you all showing up from? Where are you viewing from? I'm a web developer and learning advanced skills from you. Yeah, see, it's very nice to see both designers and developers joining us in this no code space. Even though it's called no code, I mean, we can still all learn to build great things together if you come from a coding background or a non-coding background. I think that's the power of no code right there. Austin James, what's up? Nice to see you again. Arturo, Christopher is here. You know who. I don't know who. Okay, Hugo's here. Michael, Vishal, Arby, User, Philip, who else is here? Melissa Mendez. Yes, welcome. Raymar from FriendSuite. What's up? Yes, a lot of people. If I don't shout out your name, just thank you. Thank you all so much for being here live. And if you're watching recording, we appreciate you too. Thank you for spending your time with us, me and the rest of the Webflow team. Thank you so much. We appreciate you all. So Philip saying shout out to the Webflow party community. There it goes. Every Saturday there's a Webflow party. CJ. Oh yeah, Curtis. Welcome. Yes, Simon, the Marine from Texas, who's actually from Florida. In Florida. Yes. Welcome, Steven. Shashi is here. Oh, I just love the hype in the chat right now. Oh, okay. So yes, this is a build with me stream. So if you want, you can build alongside with me as we go through this build, or you can go back and watch the recording later after it's posted on YouTube. All right. So this same YouTube link that you're on right now, it'll live forever as long as the servers stay up, right? So you can always go back and watch this whenever you want and build with me. All right. So let's get on with what we're going to do today. All right. So first, we're going to build the 5 interactions. All right. And we're going to use Webflow interactions, obviously. And then we're going to learn how to accommodate for accessibility. We're going to accommodate for those who do not want motion in their overall computer experience, okay? Their overall user experience. And lastly, if there's some time, we'll take some general questions like anything about general questions about Webflow, about web design business, or or Lego. Sure, I'll take questions about Lego. Always a big fan of that. So yeah, without further ado, oh yeah, and if you have any questions about the current topic, which is the image reveal interactions, go ahead and ask it in the live chat in our mods. If I miss it, our mods will pass it over to me, but I'll do my best to look at the chat, but get to work. So chat's right here, work is here. We're good, and you're there, right? Yeah, okay. All right, so first things first, interactions. Okay, so where I got this idea for this build was this site right here, venuswilliams.com. I saw it on a tweet, and I was like, oh, she has a new website. And then when I loaded it, I was like, yo, that's nice. And as I scroll down, not this part, but as I scroll down, this right here, it's that image reveal effect right there. It's classy and modern at the same time. Obviously the photos help, but the way it just slides and reveals and then zooms out a little, it's like, yeah. And I kind of broke it down. I was like, okay, this is simple. Let me see if I can make like 5 variations of it and teach the community. And so here we are. And see, there it goes again. It's simple, relatively speaking. Simple is such a relative word. But yeah, another reason why I wanted to show this off was, zoom in here real quick. Yay! The site was created in Webflow. Yes, it's built and hosted in Webflow. So yeah, awesome. Oop, let me zoom out. There we go. All right. So if you're ready, open up your Webflow built designer tool and let's get started. While you're loading up Webflow on a different tab, or if you have dual screen, or if you put me on one side, I don't know, whatever you want to do. Yeah, I will show you what we're going to be building. All right, so let me delete this real quick. Okay, so here we go. Let me see if this works. Yes. Okay, so there's the first one. Did you see that? Wow. And always make sound effects, okay? Always make sound effects because it makes the development process more fun. Or funner. Funner a word? No. Is it? I don't know. Anyways. And whoop. Okay, so it opens up vertically and the image is kind of zooming out. All right, so let's scroll down and see the second one. Oh, I went too fast. Sorry. Let's try it again. See? Whoop. And so that one's a horizontal. This is vertical. And there we go. Whoop. How do you spell womp? Anyways. And so that one starts from the left and goes to the right. So that's kind of like what Venus Williams' site does. So it starts from the left and goes to the right. But mine happens much quicker. All right. And then we'll do a color overlay that kind of opens up like a sliding door. And lastly, we'll add a Lottie file on top, or a Lottie animation on top of this. All right. And then once we're done with this, again, we're going to learn how to accommodate for those who have the accessibility setting turned on to reduce motion. All right. So Hugo is saying it's WHOOOHOOOWWW. Okay. Or WOMP. WOMP or WOMP. Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for the automatopoeia. All right. Can we get George Lucas star wipe? Now I'm trying to think, how would you... There has to be a way, but I'm not going to get into... I haven't practiced... Well, you're making me want to go on a tangent, but no. not today. Not today. And hello to Eason from Bangladesh. All right. So, here we go. I'm going to go to a blank page. And FYI, just want to... hold hold on. Well, just wanted to say that where I got this template from was from, it's a free template over at webflow.com/templates. All right. So I clicked on free and I was like, I'm not much of a designer, but like, I don't know how to choose colors. So I was like, where can I find one that has nice, pretty colors for today's demo? And then I was like, ooh, look at this guy. That's cool. So I picked up this free Webflow template over at webflow.com/templates. And yeah, I'm starting from that. So because I'm starting from that template, it already has some preset color swatches, and that's what we're going to be using. All right. But you can use any colors you want. This is your world. Play around, have fun. Right. Starting from blank canvas, the best part, we're going to go ahead and start building. So we're going to start with our HTML elements. All right. We're going to build the structure. First thing I'm going to do is Command or Control E and start typing SEC for section. Press enter, return, and now we have this section, and it starts at the top and ends right here. But we want that to be full height. Okay, we want the full height of this. All right, and how we do that is we go ahead and let's create a selector name. So right here, I'm going to type in, let's say here, the section. I don't know. Again, you can call it whatever you want. The section. I'm going to scroll down here to min height. So we don't want to use height. We want to use min height. The reason why is because if you use a height, if any elements within this section goes beyond the height, things can look squished on the next section. All right. So you want to use min height, meaning the minimum is 100 VH, the full width, but if anything goes beyond 100, that's cool too. We'll stretch out for that person. All right, we don't want to keep anyone in a box, but yet we're using boxes. Anyways, so 100 VH. VH means viewport height. All right, and when we do that, let me press enter. There you go. Notice how that bottom line moves all the way down to here. All right, so it's the full height. Let's go ahead and scroll down to backgrounds, and let's give this a linear gradient. All right, so we don't just want white, we want something nice. So I'm going to press the plus sign for this background, and right here, this second button is for linear gradients. I'm going to click that, and now if I choose this color right here, so I'm starting with this black, I'm going to change it to dark purple. Oh, there's actually a name for it? Rebecca Purple. Congrats to Rebecca for having her own color. And then change the white to medium violet red. All right. And so now we have this nice gradient, kind of like a sunset. And let's go ahead and rotate this so it's okay. Let's do it like that. Yeah. Okay. So we'll have like that medium violet red from here, and then going across diagonally to Rebecca Purple. All right. Cool. Hello, Tyron from Netherlands. Yay! Andrew, welcome back. Missed your streams. I'm glad you're here. All right. So next, we want to put the image in the very center of the page. Okay, so we want it to be horizontally and vertically centered, and how to do that is with Flexbox. But before I do that, let's go ahead and put the image in here. So I'm going to press Command E and type in div for div block, and let's call this the image wrapper. All right, and now notice how it's pushing to the top but full width. But I want that to be in the center. So I'm going to click back on the section right here. So notice right here, I have the section and the image wrapper. Right here, the section, I'm going to click on the second box right here, the second button. This enables Flexbox. All right. So I'm going to click it. And notice what happened. Now it's on the very left, but full width. The reason why is because we have the height right here set to stretch, so it's the full width, and also to the left. So just super simply For align and justify, center, center. Yay, we found the exact center. And we didn't have to use any computational algorithms. Just let the computer do it. Anyways, all right, so inside the image wrapper, we're going to put in our image. So I'm going to press Command E, type in image, and there we go. Choose image. And of course, again, I'm using the Falcon 9 rocket. And let's set a width and height on this. So I'm going to call this the image. And let's go ahead and set a width and height to 480 and 640. All right. And notice how it's stretched. It's because the original size of this doesn't fit this ratio. But I can kind of force it using object fit. And it's right here. Okay. So this drop down right here. So what we want to do is, oops, there we go. So what we want to do is change that to cover. All right. So there we go. Now it's in ratio and it's going beyond the bounds, but covering the space. All right. All right. Now that this is done, are we done? Oh no, one more thing. The image wrapper right here, the parent of the image, okay, needs an overflow hidden. And I'll tell you why. If I go to height right here, because we want to start, our interaction is going to start from like nothing and then grow vertically, right? So if I go with the height of say like 0, we still see the image, but it's being pushed down because it's beyond the height of the image wrapper, okay? But if I do overflow hidden right here, anything beyond the bounds of overflow will be hidden and it's gone. And so we can actually prototype without going into Webflow interactions. We can prototype what the animation will kind of look like. If I hold shift and press up while inside the height size. And there we go. That's kind of like what we want, right? So there you go. And that's what overflow hidden does. It kind of masks stuff. So let's go ahead and reset that. And we'll leave the width and height to auto. And there we go. Now we have our HTML and our CSS done. Now it's time for the super fun part, Webflow interactions, where you're writing jQuery without, or JavaScript without writing it. Yeah. I wouldn't know how to, do I know? No. I wouldn't know how to code this, but like the fact that I kind of understand by using Webflow interaction makes it more fun. So let's go ahead and click on the section, because that's where we want to have the trigger on. And then click on interactions. So interactions is at the top right, this lightning bolt. And then press plus for the element trigger. And then we're going to choose scroll into view. There we go. And when scrolled into view, we want to start an animation. And let's go ahead and press the plus sign for that. And now it's asking me, what do I want to name the animation? Let's call this image reveal 1. All right, cool. So we're going to select the image wrapper, press the plus sign for the actions, and choose size. Okay? And now down here in the bottom right, we're going to set initial state. And now what is an initial state? It's you declaring, hey, this is what I want this element to look like when the page first loads. All right. So I'm going to select that. And for the height, I'm going to set it to 0 because I don't want to see it at first. Okay. And now for the ending state, so that's the start. What's the end going to look like? I'm going to click on end and click on size. After that, I'm going to set the height to 640. All right. And now I'm going to press play. Cool. So the basics are done. Now it's up to you to kind of give it that flair, give it a feel. All right. Give it some sort of, I don't know, pizzazz, right? So how to do that is playing around with easing. And oh yeah, there's a site. I think it's easings.net. Yeah. So I'm going to put it in chat real quick. Easings.net. So you can see what each type of ease does in their timing. So yeah, I think I want to use in out cubic. So let's try that. So right here under easing, I'm going to click here, in out cubic. All right, and press play. Cool. I'm going to slow it down a bit. So under duration, let's give it like 1.5 seconds. Okay, that's real slow. 0.75 seconds? Okay. Again, this is your world. You can play around with it however you want. The Venus Williams website seemed like it was very slow, but, you know, what is the brand? What is the feel of your client's brand or your brand? And let that animation of that ease fit into it, the ease and the timing. All right, let's add one more thing to it. Let's do the zooming out effect. And to do that, let's click on the image and click on the plus sign, and we're going to scale this. All right, so we're going to scale the initial state to 1.5. I don't know. Okay, cool, 1.5. And what I can do is right click here on that step and click on duplicate. And then here, I'm going to show you real quick. Drag the image into the image wrapper. So these are happening at the same time. These two animations, they're happening at the same time. For the scale, I'm going to go back to 1 down here in the bottom right. I want to scale it back to 1. So if I press play, you kind of see it happening. How can we make that a little bit more zhuzh? I'll use the same ease, and let's make the duration slow. Like, let's do 1.5 and see what happens. Okay, that 1.25? Yeah, okay, just 1. Again, it's up to you. This is your world. Okay, cool. Yeah, see, something like that. Not too hard, right? So that image reveal, if I press preview, there you go. It has that classy feel to it. And again, it's up to you how you want to do this. All right. So first one is done. Easy, simple. Keep going. If you have any questions, let me know in the chat. Let's see here. Do I see anything? I don't see anything in chat that has a question. Andrew's asking, would it work if you set the initial state as the default style in CSS and have interactions only have the reveal step? Great question, Andrew. So it's best to set the initial state in Webflow interactions because Webflow interactions can overwrite some of the things in the style panel, like 3D transforms, 2D transforms, etc. So it's best that you have the basics set in the style panel, but do the initial state in the interactions. Plus, if I did the initial state here, like say the initial state for image wrapper is 0, I can't see what I'm working with. Like say like, oh, I need to change the image. Okay, I'm going to have to set this height back to auto and now change the image and then set it back to 0. That kind of adds too many steps. So what you can do is just leave this alone and do all this initial state styling inside of interactions. All right, hope this helps. All right, cool. Not sponsored. All right. All right, next one. Here we go. Let's go ahead and copy and paste this section. I did a Command C, Command V in the navigator right here. And if I scroll down, here we are. And let's call this section 2. I'm going to give this a combo class of 2 right here at the top right. That way I can separate the sections. And how I want to do that is I just want to turn the linear gradient to the other way. Oh wait, I can just do this. Yeah, I can do reverse right here. All right, so reverse. Cool. There we go. Or actually, let me make this called even. Because I can't. Anyways, this image wrapper right here. So what we want to do is horizontal. So you saw the vertical. Let's do the horizontal. It's super simple. If we already have the basics down, we don't have to rebuild much. Let's go to click on the section, which has our interaction. And you can tell it has interaction by this little icon right here. And let's go ahead back to interaction, scroll into view, and right here, the kebab menu. That's the official technical term in all the technical docs. Let's go ahead and click on duplicate. And now we have image reveal 2. Let's go ahead and select it and then click it again to open it. And this time, for the initial state, for the size of the image wrapper, I'm going to delete the height. So I'm going to click on height, click on reset. For the width, I'm going to set that to 0. And it's not working. Huh? Okay, well, just keep going. It might... Oh, here it is. Sorry. I was in the top section. I should be on the bottom right here. There we go. Okay, cool. So I need 0. And then for the final size, I'm going to remove the height and set the width to 480. Okay. And notice how this is scaled still. Oh, we can keep the scale. Yeah, we can keep the scale. Okay, so if we press play, it's already done. So all we did was change the initial state of the image wrapper size to be width 0 and height auto to width 480 height auto. It kind of says 0, but it's actually auto. So, all right, save. And let's go ahead and look at both of them. So, whoop, and then. What? Okay. Oh, so it looked like it didn't happen. So let me show you. And if I go here, it looks like nothing happened. The reason why is this right here, offset. Right here. So what does offset mean? It means when do I start the interaction? When do I start the animation? All right. And if I scroll up to the top, scroll up to the top and then scroll down just a little bit right here, that's when the animation started because I don't have an offset. Offset is 0. So if I want to start it a little bit later, I want it to start, say, 40% down the element. Okay, if this is 0 at the top, this is like kind of like, I don't know, like here, like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 100, right? So I want it to start like right here. So we can set this offset to 40, all right? If I press preview, there we go. And there we go. And we can set that offset even further. Let's say like 50, you know, like how far down the page do you want before the animation starts? And there you go. How far down the element? Yeah, there you go. Anything in chat? WKD, I don't think it's offset. The animation goes as soon as you go preview at the bottom of the page. Yeah. I kind of explained it, but let me know if that explanation didn't help. I'll see if I can explain it a different way. But there we go. We have 2 down. So what's the third thing we're gonna do? This one right here. Okay. So we're gonna start from the left and go to the right. So, how did I do this? Okay. I wrapped it. with another thing. Okay, cool. Yeah, thinking. Okay, yep, I got it. Excuse me. All right. Let's go ahead and copy and paste. Oh no, it's not your bad. It's okay. We're all learning. WKD. Nelson, do you still use that buy me a coffee link? Not anymore. I mean, you all supported me through the years, so thank you so much. Just support Webflow now. I mean, support this channel, support the community efforts. But yeah, you being here is all good. All right. So, copy and paste. I copy and pasted this section, and so now we're on number 3. Let's go ahead and go to Styles panel and remove this even, so that way we can see the different sections. All right, so if I preview, it's just doing that, but we want it to do from left to right rather than from center on out. All right, I feel like I'm voguing now. All right, so easily enough, all I need to do is Command E inside of the section, type in div, right? Drag this at the top. Let me zoom in real quick. There we go. And so for this div block, I want to put this image wrapper inside of there. And so I can click and drag and wait for that div block to highlight and let go. And now this is a child of this. All right. For this div block, let's go ahead and give it a name of the image wrapper. Image holder, image. You come up with a name. As people who've watched my streams in the past, I'm not the best with class names. All right, so with this, I'm gonna set a width right here to 640. Okay, no, that's not it. 480, that's it. So now that I'm setting a width, if this image wrapper right here has a width of 0, and then it grows, there you go. It's growing from the left and going to the right. And that's it. So we just needed another wrapper to wrap the wrapper. Yes. And making sure that it has a set width. All right. And we don't have to add a new interaction because it's still doing the same thing left to right. It's going from 0 pixels width to 480. So if I press preview, 3 done. 3 done. Andrew, never used that search shortcut before. We're going to save so much time. Yes, Command or Control E. Super, super useful. There's so many more tricks. Hotkeys. If you press the help, you can't see it because on the bottom left, you can't see it because my video's overlaying it. But on the very bottom left, there's a question mark on Webflow. And you can click on keyboard shortcuts right here. And it'll give you everything. A lot. All right. All right. 3 down. Next. What are we doing? The color overlay. Let me go here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So down here, if you watch, there you go, the sliding door effect. All right. And so if I go to demo, let's go ahead and copy and paste this section. And there we go. So let me see here. We don't need this wrapper. So I'm going to drag this out and delete this wrapper right here. All right. And this image wrapper right here, we need to set it to a position relative because that color overlay, the colored door, whatever, is going to lay on top of the image. So I need that color overlay to be position absolute. All right. And when something is position absolute, it's floating on the page, it's floating on top of the page, but we need to make sure we anchor it down to a certain element. And to do that, you need that certain element to have position relative. All right. So if I go here to position, change it to relative, and there we go. All right. Another way to think about position absolute and position relative is think of an element. So I'm going to put here a div, Command E, typed in div, and I'm going to call this color. Oh, I already created it. The color overlay. I'm going to pick a random color from the swatch. We'll choose this one. And we're going to set this to position absolute and full. So position absolute and full. And so what full does, it takes up the whole thing. So I want it to take up the whole thing. And if you notice right here, relative to image wrapper. Okay, so if you have like, another way to explain it is like when you set something to position absolute, it's like a child who's looking for its relative. And so if the child doesn't have, if this isn't the relative right here, if this isn't the relative, then this child right here will be like, where's my relative? I'm lost in them all and I can't find my relative. If you're not it, then are you it? And the section's like, no, I'm not. I don't know you. And the child's like, oh my God. And then you get to the body, and body always has position relative no matter what. And so this child right here is like, oh, okay, cool. You're my relative. Like this is the default, right? But since I set this one as position relative, this child right here is like, oh, okay, you're my relative. So I'm going to anchor to you. I'm going to target you. So there you go. All right. So this color overlay, what I want to do is I want to actually set it to the left instead of full. All right. The reason why is because I want it to start here and then I want it to animate like this. So if I start like 0% width, wait, sorry, I wanted to do right because I want to anchor it to the right. Because when I start the width at 100 and then I start going down to 0, that's what I want it to do, all right? So if I anchor it to the right, that means like the door hinge or whatever is on the right. If I hinged it to the left and played around with the width, now we're going the opposite direction, all right? But as for my demo, I hinged the door on the right. So let's remove this width, all right? And there we go. Now our CSS is done for this. Let's go ahead and click on the section, go to our element trigger, and we're going to trash this one. Okay, we're not going to use that same one that we did for image reveal too. So we're going to click on the trash can, press the plus sign, scroll into view, action, start animation. We're going to do offset of 50%. We're going to take a drink of LaCroix. Not sponsored. And now we're going to create a new timed animation. We're going to call it image reveal 4. We're skipping 3 because we're on the 4th section. All right. All we're going to affect is the color overlay. So you click on that color overlay, press the plus sign, size, set initial state. And how do I want this to look when the page first loads? I want it to have a width of 100%. And there we go. And for the end, I'm going to set the size to 0%. And there we go. And again, it's up to you, easings.net, if you need this cheat sheet to see what it looks like, if you want some sort of different, we'll just use what we've been using. So change your easing to fit the feel of your site, change the duration, press play, and there we go. And we can do that scaling effect too with the image. So click on the image. I know I'm going a little bit faster now. Scaling the image 1.5 and press the plus and do a scale again. This one goes to 1. Easing is in out cubic. Duration is 1 second. And what happened? What? How come I don't? Huh? Huh. So that didn't break until I added the scale. Today I learned. I guess we can't do the scaling effect of this image. Huh? Okay. Okay. I will report back on this and figure out why that don't happen. I guess I didn't add a scale on my demo, huh? Let me go here. Oh, I didn't add a scale on my demo. Okay, lesson learned. All right, well, keep going. Any questions on this door swiping thing? Deshaun, welcome. Hugo, witchcraft. What's witchcraft? No, it's not witchcraft. It's Webflow. All right. Okay, so one more thing to do is the Lottie animation. So I'm going to go here and show you again what we're going to be doing. Press the preview. Whoa. One more time. All right, okay, so how did I do this? Well, first thing I did was I went to lottiefiles.com. It's where you can get free Lottie animations. Well, free and premium Lottie animations. It's really, really cool. So I went here and just searched for transitions, I think, or transition. And I was looking through this and thought, what will look cool? What will look cool? And I think it was on page 2 or something. There it is. It's happening really fast. Whoa, God, slow down. Too fast. How do you slow it down? You can't. Okay, I'm just going to pause it. Ugh. Okay, so it does this, right? But the cool thing about Lottie animations is that you can play them in reverse in Webflow. And so all I did was downloaded this Lottie JSON file and I uploaded it to Webflow. All right. And so after I've uploaded it to Webflow, which is right here under assets, there we go. So under assets, I uploaded the JSON file and I dragged it into here. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So I'm going to, let's see here. Which one do I want to do? Okay, so I'm going to copy and paste this for the last section right here. And we don't need the color overlay anymore, so I'm going to delete that. But from the assets manager, I'm going to drag in the Lottie animation. And I don't want to use the built-in duration. I'm going to set my own. So I'm going to set something like 1.5 seconds. Let's preview it. Okay, that's cool. And yeah, I don't have to play in reverse here. I'm going to, actually, I don't even have to set the duration here. Yeah, I don't have to do anything here. My bad. Yeah, I'm just going to close this because everything will be set in the Webflow interactions. So the duration and the play in reverse will all be done in Webflow interactions. All right. So there we go. Let's go ahead and fix this real quick. This Lottie animation, the Lottie, I'm going to name it that. And let's set this to position absolute because we want this on top of the image. Yeah, on top of the image. Okay. And let's go ahead and set the, I think we have to set the scale. but that's later. Okay, notice how it doesn't go all the way down. That's fine. We can fix it in Webflow interactions. All right, so we're gonna go click on the section. Our elements are ready, our CSS is ready. Now it's time to go to Webflow interactions. I'm going to trash the last, that image reveal, create a new one, plus sign, scroll into view, action, start a new animation, offset. Let's go 40 on this one. You know, or can we just go 50? Maybe. And let's press the plus sign for a new animation. Call it image reveal 5. And for the Lottie animation, let's press the plus sign and click on Lottie. In this initial state, the initial state, instead of the Lottie animation starting at 0 and then going to 100, we want to start at 100. All right, see, we can play with the timeline here, scrub through it. I'm going to start at 100, and the end, I'm going to click on Lottie. The end's going to end at 0. So if I press play, there you go. But it happens really fast. So now we can set the duration to something like 1.5 seconds. And we don't have to mess around with the ease because the original animation, the animator, already added their own easing. So we can leave it as linear. All right. Notice how it's not getting to the bottom. So we can fix that by setting a scale. So I'm going to press the plus sign near the initial state. Click on scale. And let's scale this up so it can take up the whole thing. There we go. And right click, duplicate, drag that into that other step and set and leave the scale as is. And there it is. That easy. That easy. All right. So let's preview it. And there we go. There's that fifth one. There's that swiping door effect. There's that. Womp and womp. Cool? Yeah. Let's see. Marine from Texas. Steven is saying you can slow it down by clicking on animation speed and changing it to desired speed. Yes, you can, but I think it's better to do it on Webflow interactions because you can control the speed more there when you're doing it, when you're doing some sort of interaction. If you're just loading it on the page, then you can, and you're not doing a scroll into effect or something like that, then yeah, you would do it from those mini settings. All right. Cool. Any questions? Any questions before we move on to, not that, but that, yes. Any questions before we learn how to accommodate for accessibility? Let me check chat. All right. I'm scrolling up on chat. Yeah, nope, nothing. Cool. All right, moving on. No questions. Again, if you have any questions that don't have to do with this build, I'll still take them towards the end of the stream, all right? Because we're going to go over the hour. I want to make sure that you are learning as much as you can, all right? All right. Next time, do not get LaCroix. It makes you kind of all right. What do we do? Interactions. Let's go to it. All right. So for accessibility, all right. Let me swipe. There we go. So for those who do not want a lot of motion in their overall computer experience, not just on the browser or websites, but on the whole OS. A user can go into their accessibility settings and click on reduce motion. And I think on Windows 11, it's called like show motion or show animation on Windows or something like that. And you can toggle that on or off. This is the same thing right here, reduce motion. So if I if I turn this off, watch what happens when I swipe to a different desktop. Okay, the whole thing moves. And if I do that mission control thing or something like that, it like goes wonk, right? Let me go back. All right. So if someone turns this on to reduce motion, they don't like that because it's just too much for them, and it's totally fine. Watch what happens when I swipe. It just does a crossfade, and to me that's a much nicer experience. You know, it's just like more straightforward in my opinion. And also for browsers, there is a CSS property where you can listen. You can have your CSS find out if they have that toggle on or off. All right. And if you go to CSS tricks, I found this just by searching for reduced motion CSS. This explains it. And so if you go down here, we have the code to, let me zoom in. Yeah. So we have the code for that, and it's called prefers reduced motion. Okay. And so if I copy this code, I can put it inside of Webflow and start accommodating for people who have that toggled on. All right. So let's start our setup first. Let's set up our let's set up our HTML elements to get ready for this. And how I would do this is I would press click on body and then press Command E, type in div, and I'm going to wrap all of these sections inside of a div block. So I'm going to drag this in. There we go. All right. So all of these have the animation. Okay. So notice how all of these have the lightning bolts. So I'm going to copy this div block and paste it. Okay. And now I have all of those duplicated. However, for each of these, I'm going to delete the animations. I'm going to delete the Webflow interactions. All right. So I want a more straightforward experience for those who have reduced motion turned on. So for this, I'm just going to delete the Lottie animation. For this, I'm going to delete the color overlay, and the rest, they're just very straightforward. All right. So here's the difference. I'm going to go here. That one has animation. I can't drag the scroll bar. Oh, okay. There we go. There we go. That has animation. That has animation. And now we're on the other set of 5. No animation at all. And that's fine. That's what we want. A more straightforward presentation for these images. Okay? All right. Now let's go ahead and copy that CSS property. Go back here to Webflow. Under body, I'm going to type in press Command E, type in embed, and I'm going to type in style, and paste that in there. Let me scroll in or zoom in. All right, there we go. So this is what I'm doing. I'm creating a new hard-coded CSS with that property. Don't worry if Webflow highlights it in red. It's just one of these new ones that Webflow doesn't recognize yet, but just keep going. You're not doing anything wrong. Don't be scared by this red highlight. All right. Okay, so in this curly braces, I'm going to press tab or space. You know what? To make sure everyone's happy, I'm going to press tab once and press space once. And now everyone's happy, whether you're on one side or the other. Okay, so now you can't get mad at me. All right. So I'm going to put dot, and I'm going to name a class name, A11Y, short for accessibility. And I'm going to say reduced motion on. All right. And then a curly brace, display block, semicolon, end curly brace. Okay, I'm going to copy that. There we go. And instead of on, I'm going to do off, none, meaning I don't want to see it. So if there is a element with this class name on, then let's show it. That's what display block means. Let's show the element. So if prefers reduce motion is on, show the ones that are reduce motion on. And for those with reduce motion off, we're going to display. No, wait, do I have it backwards? Wait. Oh, no. The toggle of reduce motion is on, and then this is if the toggle is reduce motion off. All right. And so all we have to do for the inverse of this is just reverse it. So I'm going to copy this, paste it. And now if I go back to the article, the inverse of this is just : no preference. So I'm going to copy that and paste it there. And so there we go. Prefers reduce motion, no preference. So all I have to do is just switch this to none, switch this one to block, and there we go. All right. So let's go ahead and copy one of these class names, and we're going to put it into Webflow. All right. Save and close. So let's put this right at the top because we want the CSS to show up first and then load up these. So this div block right here, this is the one where it has no motion. So that's where, and for that hotkey to get to the selector, I pressed Command Enter. But this is where I'm going to put the class name that I just made up right here, reduce motion on. Okay, so the toggle is on. I'm going to go put that on. And for this one right here, where all the motion is happening, I'm going to add reduce motion off. And there we go. Now, you can already see this stuff happening if you publish, or even it's actually happening right now in the Webflow designer tool. If I preview, notice how none of the animations are happening. Okay? But if I go back, oh, where's my swipe? There we go. If I go back and untick this, now let's go ahead and swipe. There we go. We have our motions happening right here. And I preview again. I think if I preview, there we go. See, it's already happening inside of Webflow. And I can't scroll anymore. I can't scroll. Scrolling is done. So I'm only seeing those first 5 that are in that div. And so that's how you can accommodate for accessibility. It's to put it more plainly, like Matthew Munger said, he said it's kind of like conditional visibility for animated elements. And so that's what you're doing. And yeah, that's it. That's how you do it. All right. Any questions? Any questions before we move on? Let's see here. So clean with no bookmarks. Huh? No bookmarks. Not sure what you mean, Ezekiel, but welcome to the stream. Glad to see you're back. Oh, Penny's here. Hi, Penny. Glad you made it. Command E or Command K, then Command Enter to move to the class naming box. Saves a ton of time. Yes, hotkeys. So you can just go fast. All right. Yeah, so I think we're on the last part. Q&A. So do any of you have any questions or comments? Anything about Webflow? I'll give you all the last 15 minutes or so. I didn't think I would be able to get through this in an hour. I was slating this for 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half. And I'm like, it's only 11. So more time for you all. Connor, Finlayson, Unicorn Factory, Code Meets No Code is here. Welcome, Connor. where it all started. Yes, yes. And I can't take full credit because this started back with Will and Matt in 2014, but just carrying on the legacy. HMCB, you're very likable. You are too. Where can I get your sweet Lego shirt? Lego and Target did a collab back during Christmas, and that's where I got it from. When will Webflow Logic launch? So Webflow, I can't say, but what I can say, and because we're doing, and yeah, so hopefully I answered your question, but that's as much as I can say. All right. Kyle, what's your favorite shirt? Yeah, and by the way, when it comes to product launches and stuff like that, I can't say. I want to, but I can't. But also, it's not up to me. It's not for me to say. I want to make sure that it's celebrated in a better way rather than just in a build with me stream. Kyle's asking, "What's your favorite shirt?" I don't know. I guess I have NASA shirts, Tesla shirts, Lego shirts. I don't know. Curtis is in the production channel saying the audio just cut out. No, Curtis, I was doing a bit there. I was muting my microphone on purpose. Don't worry, we're good. Let's see here. All right. If there's nothing else, yeah. Let me go to my notes here real quick. Yeah, if I don't answer any other questions, if I didn't get to your question today, or if you think of a question later, go ahead and head on over to the forums over at discourse.webflow.com. Ask the community over there. Ask the community over there if you your questions, and here's the thing. If your question gets answered, please do me a favor and answer someone else's question so we can all grow together. What we're trying to do for these streams is do something every Wednesday. Call it like a Webflow Wednesday type of thing after your Taco Tuesdays, in between your Throwback Thursdays and your party. Anyways. So we're not going to be here next Wednesday, but February 23rd, get ready for it. We'll have an interview with the director of Generation No Code, that upcoming docuseries on webflow.com/TV. Yes, the director of that will be here. I'll be interviewing him, Matthew Encina, February 23rd on this YouTube channel. So be here for it, 10 a.m. Pacific time. We got a question. Here we go. Thomas XY, what about responsive fluid units, MREM percentage VWVH instead of pixels for animation? Yes. I was just using pixels for demo purposes, but yes, responsive units, even better. All right. Webflow interactions is tough for responsiveness, especially when you have floating elements just going around the place. And so you're gonna need more fluid units rather than pixels. So yeah, thank you so much, Thomas, for bringing that up. Andrew is asking, it's been a while. How's that streaming PC been? I've just been gaming on it, honestly. But thank you so much for the suggestions on what parts to build for my personal stream. But yeah, as you can tell, much more equipment now. Awesome setup. And again, this is not a green screen. These are real books. Let's see here. You want to learn about Disney Parks Cookbook? There you go. I guess I'll read that after the stream. But thank you all Pixel Geek, and I'm the okay. Thank you all so much. Again, be here February 23rd for that interview with Director of Generation No Code, Matthew Encina. Thank you all so much for being here for the first ever Build With Me session. I hope you learned a lot. And yeah, that's it. Thank you. Thank you so much. And as always, make the web beautiful together. See ya.